There's this technology it's fundamentally changing our lives, our jobs, and pretty much our entire future. So today, we're going to break down one of the most talked about topics on the planet, artificial intelligence. And let's kick things off with a fact that might actually surprise you. The whole idea behind AI, it's older than the internet itself. So how did this dream, which has been around for decades, suddenly become our everyday reality? Let's dive in.
All right, so part one. Before we can even talk about where AI is going, we've got to start with the absolute basics. What are we actually talking about when we say AI?
When you boil it all down, AI is about trying to create machines that can think, learn, and solve problems. You know, like we do. It's not just about crunching numbers faster. No, it's about mimicking how we think, seeing patterns, understanding language, and making judgments based on experience.
Okay, this next part is maybe one of the most important things to get. Everything we call AI right now is what the experts call narrow AI. It's incredibly, almost spookily good at one specific thing. On the flip side, you have the big sci-fi dream, artificial general intelligence, or AGI. That's a machine with the creative, flexible, do-anything intelligence of a human. And here's the kicker. It doesn't exist, at least not yet.
So, if all the AI we're using is narrow, how did we even get here? Well, the journey has been a real roller coaster, full of huge breakthroughs and some pretty major setbacks. The starting gun for the whole field of AI really fired way back in 1956. This quote from the Dartmouth Workshop proposal just perfectly captures the wild optimism of those early pioneers. They truly believed that human intelligence, in all its messy complexity, could eventually be copied and put into a machine. But, that optimism hit a wall. Hard. The early hype was followed by these long AI winters, where the ideas were huge, but the computers just weren't powerful enough. A massive turning point, though, came in 1997, when IBM's Deep Blue beat the world chess champion. That was a huge symbolic win. But the real explosion, that happened just recently. First with the deep learning revolution in 2012, and then, of course, with ChatGPT in 2022, which just suddenly dropped advanced AI right into all of our hands. So what changed? Why the sudden takeoff after all those years? It really came down to a perfect storm. First, the internet gave us this endless ocean of data for AIs to learn from. And second, new computer hardware, we're talking GPUs mostly, finally gave us the raw muscle to process all of it. This created this incredible feedback loop of more data, more power, more data, more power, that's been accelerating ever since. And all that brings us right up to today. AI isn't some distant sci-fi concept anymore. It's totally woven into the fabric of our modern lives. And hey, if you ever want to understand how big a deal something is, just follow the money. The AI market is projected to be worth almost $2 trillion by 2030. That's not a niche technology. That is a full-on global economic transformation happening right now. And you can see this shift literally everywhere. Think of AI as this quiet revolution. In healthcare, it's helping doctors spot diseases much earlier than a human eye could. In finance, it's like a silent guardian angel, stopping fraud before it happens. In transportation, it's the brain inside the apps that help you dodge rush hour. It's changing how everything works. In fact, I bet you interact with AI dozens of times before you've even had lunch. When you ask Siri for the weather, that's AI. When Netflix just magically knows what you want to watch next, yep, that's AI. From unlocking your phone with your face to your email automatically zapping spam, AI is the invisible engine running our digital world. Okay, so all of this leads to the biggest question of all, right? Where is this all heading? The future of AI is this incredible landscape of, on one hand, amazing promise, and on the other, some pretty serious peril. So in the really near future, we're likely going to see the rise of what's called agentic AI. These are assistants that don't just answer your questions, but actively go out and do complex things for you. A little further out, we could see a massive shift in the workforce as AI automates more and more jobs. And then long-term, well, some experts talk about an age of abundance, where AI optimizes everything from energy to healthcare, creating a whole new kind of society. But And this is a huge but. To get to that incredible future, we have to navigate some really serious challenges. See, AI systems learn from our data. And if our data has our biases in it, that AI can become a powerful tool for discrimination. It brings up huge questions about privacy, about what happens to jobs, and about the ultimate control problem. How do we make sure a technology that could become way smarter than us always acts in our best interests? These aren't just technical problems anymore. They are deeply human ones. Which brings us right to the bottom line. Just like the printing press or the internet, AI is a powerful tool. It's not inherently good or evil. Its impact is going to be decided by the choices we make, by the values we program into it, and by the problems we choose to solve. So really, the question isn't what AI will do, it's what will we do with AI.